Call Me Tonight is a short OVA about a girl who runs a sort of call center where all of the people you call into are attractive women, but as far as the anime shows, it doesn't have anything to do with sex, and they're just there to give guys advice. I suppose it doesn't necessarily specify that it has to be a guy, but it doesn't matter. All the people we see call in are men anyway. So, guy calls in, and none of the other girls can help, so they have to put it all the way to the boss, because, as it turns out, according to the guy, whenever he masturbates, his body changes. And come to find out, what he actually means is, whenever he gets horny, he turns into a horrible monster. And so it is up to our main character to sort of help this guy with his horny monster problems. Now, despite how this sounds, it doesn't necessarily go the route you'd expect. It doesn't go like full tentacle hentai on you. It's shown in the OVA as a problem that has to be overcome. And her primary method of overcoming this is basically exposure therapy, where she shows him a bunch of things that might make him horny, and he tries not to transform into a horrible monster. But there's a monkey wrench thrown into it, because at some point a gangster girl finds out about this, and she decides that she thinks this is interesting, and for some reason she tries to fuck him, which just turns him into a giant monster. I mean, it makes sense that he turns into a giant monster. I just don't understand her thought process and why she thought he wouldn't turn into a monster during the scenario. But that's what ends up happening, and so it ends up sort of switching into almost like a horror OVA towards the end there, where all of the people are running and getting chased down by the monster, but not before the gangster girl's friends do try to rape the main character. So that's strange. And it all ends up happy at the end, by the way. So Call Me Tonight is this sort of interesting OVA. The animation is kind of pretty good, and the story's all right. I don't think the resolution of what was causing him to transform into a monster was particularly satisfying. And it does leave on a bit of a cliffhanger, which, since this came out in the 80s, this never got a fucking sequel. So yeah, it's a totally fine, acceptable OVA. What I will say most notably about all this, I think, is that the designs for the girls are actually super cute. Twitch and Discord in the description. I've been Sacrobolic. You're Envoy of Hope. Bye-bye.